Ever get the feeling that like all these super wealthy people are playing a different game
Yeah.
than all the rest of us? Like
Mm.
they've got like this secret playbook that they're not sharing with anybody.
It's not so much a secret as like a different approach
Okay.
to wealth, you know?
Yeah.
It's what you call like the asset mindset.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What does that mean?
So think of it this way. Most people trade their time for money.
Right.
It's like a linear equation.
Yeah.
More hours worked equals more dollars.
Yep.
The asset mindset flips that script.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that true wealth comes from building assets that generate income, independent of your direct effort.
So instead of constantly clocking in, you're building things that work for you,
Yeah.
even when you're not.
Exactly. You're creating systems, investments, or entities that generate value, whether
Wow.
you're working on them or not.
Wow.
Like planting a seed that grows into a tree, bearing fruit year after year.
Yeah, that's a really great image. Can you give an example of what that looks like in action?
Let's take real estate.
Okay.
A lot of people think of like owning a home as just a place to live,
Right.
but it can be so much more. It's an asset that can appreciate in value over time,
Okay.
especially if you're strategic about location and market trends.
So it's not just about having a roof over your head.
Right.
It's about owning something that becomes more valuable over time.
Exactly. On top of that, you can leverage real estate to generate rental income.
Oh, wow.
Another stream of revenue. The property is working for you, generating wealth while you sleep.
Okay, so real estate is one example.
Yeah.
What about like, I don't know, starting an online business?
Yeah.
I mean, that takes time and effort.
Yeah.
It's not exactly passive.
You're right. Building anything takes effort, but the difference lies in the leverage you create.
Oh.
Imagine you spend time like creating an online course or building a website that provides a valuable service.
So you're putting in the work up front, but
That initial effort has the potential to pay off exponentially. That course can be sold to hundreds or even thousands of people without you having to recreate it every single time. It becomes an asset that keeps generating income long after the work is done.
so it's like turning your knowledge and skills into something that can be replicated and shared, creating a lasting source of income.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
And it's not just limited to digital products.
Oh,
Think about building a brand or a loyal following online. That can open doors to sponsorships, partnerships,
Right.
and other opportunities that wouldn't be available if you were just trading time for money.
it sounds like building assets is about creating a system where your efforts have a multiplying effect, generating value beyond the initial time or resources.
That's the core idea. You're not just working in the system, you're building the system itself.
Right.
And that's where the real magic happens. Now that we kind of understand the difference between trading time and building assets,
Yeah.
let's explore some other examples to illustrate how this works in various aspects of life.
Let's do it. I'm really starting to see how this asset mindset can be applied to so many different areas.
Yeah.
I'm eager to hear more.
Yeah. We often think of assets as like tangible things, like real estate or gold. But some of the most powerful assets are intangible.
Intangible. What do you mean by that?
Think about things like intellectual property,
Yeah.
the skills you develop, or even your network of relationships.
Okay.
These might not be physical objects, but they can be incredibly valuable assets.
Okay. I'm starting to wrap my head around this. So how does, like, say, intellectual property work as an asset?
Okay, so let's say you write a book or compose a song or develop a groundbreaking software program. You're essentially creating intellectual property that you can then monetize.
So you could earn royalties from your book, license your music,
Yeah.
or sell your software.
Exactly. And that income can continue to flow in long after the initial creation is complete,
Wow.
like a successful patent holder. Their invention can generate income for years, even decades, without them having to actively work on it every day.
That's amazing. It's like your creation keeps working for you even when you're not directly involved.
Yeah.
What about skills? How do those translate into assets?
Okay, think about it this way. The more you invest in developing your skills,
Yeah.
the more valuable you become in the marketplace.
Right.
Whether it's coding, writing, design, or public speaking, specialized skills can command higher rates,
Yeah.
open doors to new opportunities, and even lead to the creation of your own business.
So it's not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about turning that knowledge into a marketable skill that can generate income.
Precisely. Your skills are your assets, and the more you hone them, the more leverage you have in the world.
This is really making me rethink, like, my whole approach to work and career. I've always focused on getting the job done,
Yeah.
but I haven't really thought about, like, how to turn those experiences into assets that can work for me in the long run.
That's a common realization for many people. The traditional education system often emphasizes getting good grades and finding a stable job,
Right.
but it doesn't always equip us with the mindset and tools to build lasting wealth.
So how do we start shifting our thinking and actually start building these assets? I mean, it can feel overwhelming when you're so used to trading your time for a paycheck.
It all starts with a conscious decision to prioritize asset building. Ask yourself, what can I create or develop that will generate value beyond my immediate efforts?
Okay.
It could be as simple as writing an ebook, starting a side hustle, or investing in a rental property.
So it's about finding those opportunities where your efforts can have a multiplying effect,
Yeah,
where the initial investment of time or money can continue to pay off in the future.
exactly. And don't be afraid to start small. The key is to get the ball rolling and gain momentum. As you start to see the power of assets working for you, it'll fuel your motivation and inspire you to keep building. Now, building assets requires more than just a shift in perspective.
Right.
It also requires education and action.
I was just about to ask about that.
Well,
What are some practical steps people can take to start building assets, especially if they're starting from scratch? It feels like a whole world of possibilities are opening up.
yeah.
But where do you even begin?
One of the most powerful things you can do is educate yourself about different asset classes.
Sure.
The more you understand about how these assets work, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions.
So don't just jump into the first shiny opportunity that comes along.
Right.
Do your research.
Exactly. Take the time to learn about stocks, bonds, real estate businesses, intellectual property,
Yeah.
even cryptocurrencies if that interests you.
Right.
The more you know, the more confident you'll become in identifying the assets that align with your goals and risk tolerance.
It's like learning the rules of the game before you start playing.
Exactly. And once you have a good understanding of the different options, you can start taking calculated action.
Okay.
This could mean investing in a low-cost index fund, starting a side hustle, or even buying a rental property.
So putting your knowledge into practice and actually starting to build that asset portfolio.
Yeah, and remember, it's a journey, not a race.
Right.
You don't have to do everything at once. Start with small, manageable steps
Right.
and gradually build your way up. Consistency is key.
So even if you can only invest a small amount each month or dedicate a few hours a week to your side hustle,
Yeah,
those consistent efforts will compound over time.
absolutely. It's like that old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago.
Right.
The second best time is today. Even small actions taken consistently can lead to significant results down the road.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel like I've gained a whole new perspective on wealth creation.
Yeah.
It's not about luck or hitting a lottery. It's about making deliberate choices and taking consistent action to build a future where your income isn't limited by the hours you work.
That's the power of the asset mindset. It empowers you to take control of your financial destiny
Right.
and create a life of abundance and freedom.
So for our listeners who are ready to embark on this journey, what's one practical step they can take today to start shifting their focus from trading time for money to building assets?
I would say start by identifying one thing you can do this week to move in that direction.
Okay.
It could be as simple as reading a book about investing, researching different side hustle ideas,
Right.
or attending a real estate seminar.
It's about taking that first step, no matter how small,
Right.
and committing to building a brighter financial future.
Exactly. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today and watch your world transform.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the asset mindset.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
It's been my pleasure. Remember, the power to create wealth lies within you. Embrace the asset mindset and unlock your full potential.
And to all of our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery.
Yeah.
See you next time on The Deep Dive.